In the last video, we talked a little bit about how we used kind of this section of our sheet up here to teach you about formula operators. Now, I want to go a little bit further into this one right here, okay, the ampersand, because it can be really helpful. It was one of the first things I learned in Excel that like kind of blew my mind, right? I thought it was super awesome. Anyway, um, I'll use the example the same example of when I first used it. So let's say that someone sends you a spreadsheet with a list of names on it. So I had a spreadsheet, a list of names, and I needed to essentially I needed to create a single column with all their names in it. And I didn't know how to do this. And it's funny because it can be done pretty easily. So I showed this in the last video, but I want to go into more detail. So we're going to use our formula. So remember, we always start with an equals, and we're going to use references. So first, I'll go, we'll just combine them. Bethany, and then we use that ampersand, the shift 7, okay, the and sign, and then Bethany Cooper. We hit enter, and now we have Bethany Cooper. Now, what I want to show you that I didn't show you in the last video is how when you use the pull handle in Google Sheets or in Excel or really any spreadsheet application, the references will still function based on, well, subjective to the cell that you're in. So let me show you what I mean. So when I'm in this cell, we're referencing A18 and we're referencing B15. Now, the way that it works is if I copy this formula, okay, and if I paste it right here, notice it doesn't paste Bethany Cooper, it pastes Andrew Peterson. And the reason why is because when I'm inside this cell, look at the cells that it's referencing. Okay, so it's subjective to the cell's location. All right, so I go ahead and hit enter. So I could copy each one of these, paste it, but I'm going to use the pull handle similar to what I've shown in other videos. This little square right here, if I grab it, I'm holding it, okay, and pull down, it's going to now combine all of those. So this is where formulas can be really be a huge time saver, right? Because instead of typing all these in, I can use the pull handle. And you notice maybe it's not the format I wanted in. So Bethany Cooper, let's throw a space in there. So we did this in the last video, but A18, and now we're going to do a quote, space, quote, and then another ampersand. What that's telling Google Sheets is I want a space in between. Okay, so it's going to create a text string. So now there's a space in between. If I want to change that to all of my cells, I can use that pull handle again. And now I have a space. Well, what if I want this to be even another format? Maybe I'm providing it to 3 different people, and each person wants their name in the spreadsheet. They want the names in a different format. So another example is, what if I want the last name first equals this cell, okay? And now I'm going to do an ampersand again. I do that and quote. I'm going to do comma space quote, and then do another ampersand here, and then Bethany. I hit enter, and now it's added in a comma and a space. So similar to you've seen it in some references, you'll see last name, comma, first name. So you can break it down and kind of mess with it a little bit. But the big things I wanted to show you was that drag handle, which also works with mathematical equations. Really, any reference, anything that has reference cells like this, when you copy and paste, it will reference based on the cells. So just one more example. I'll copy this. I'm going to paste it into this cell. Notice it has a little comma there, but notice the cells that it's referencing. It's referencing one cell next to it and then 2 cells next to it. Just like when I'm in this cell, it's referencing 1 cell next to it and 2 cells next to it. So it kind of adjusts, all right? Now that can become a problem if you're trying to copy and paste a formula. Like let's say I just want to copy and paste this name. So I copy it, and I want to paste it over here. Well, I don't get the results I want, right? I wanted Andrew Peterson. So what you can do instead is a special kind of paste function. You can copy, and then instead of just pasting, I'm going to right click and go to paste special. All right. And I'm going to paste values, which what that does is it's going to paste the value of the formula, not the formula itself. So now when I paste that, notice what's in my cell? The value. Okay. Now, the downside of that is I don't have my formula anymore, right? So usually when I paste values, I'm not going to paste over my formula in a value because I don't want to ruin my formula. But it just depends on what you're trying to do.